Hey everyone, welcome, and wow, it's time for a nice update. It's been a very busy week for me offline. I had a lot of sporting events and stuff I had to attend or help out with, and that's a great part of quality of life. I get to be very involved in my children's lives. So wanted to give this update on what's been happening. Of course, we had this massive Bitcoin correction. And we just want to continue with a little update. Now, I had been giving you guys updates on possibilities and things that could have happened for quite some time for several coins, right? And I'm going to cover some of those now. One, we're going to go through, let's start with Neo, right? So with Neo, we were talking about this in quite some time about the breakout and that Neo was on its way up. As you can see, we pumped over 150% once we crossed the 0.23 level on the Fibonacci, and we ended up going all the way to $132 per Neo. And then we had the Bitcoin correction, but of course, I did talk about us coming down to Fibonacci levels, which that is exactly what we did. Came down here to gain support under 0.382, which was a very good sign. Okay, I know it was hard to go through in terms of that correction, going from $131 back down to $74. But if you took the position on the breakout that we talked about, which was anywhere between $50 and $58, you were still in profit here, right? You were still like almost 50% in profit despite that major correction if you held through it. And we got that bounce, we got the support, and now we have, let's see, well, we're not done with the week yet. We actually have 23 minutes remaining in this weekly candle. And so we definitely want to see this weekly candle close above the 0.5 level. That's a very good and healthy sign for a continued move up for Neo. I definitely think, I always said in my videos, this is the climb now, the return to the all-time high, which we see is about $193. So, Neo is, of course, I have Neo in my portfolio. And I'm sure you guys have been enjoying the profits thus far. So Neo is still looking healthy. When I zoom out here, now let's see where this goes in terms of, like I said, in terms of this candle here. If we get back up in this single candle, if we were to get back up here to the top and form a significantly lower high, that is a bit of divergence, which is not something that I'm that crazy about, to be honest. But if we can stay above 60 on the RSI, I think we can remain bullish. However, I'm looking for us to just make sure we settle above this $100 range, this 98 to $100 range. I think that's definitely going to be a good sign of continued strength for Neo. That's what we're looking for. And like I said, just based on where Neo is, you can see the momentum is definitely in play. And I think we're definitely on our way pushing up to the all-time high. Where else can we experience some resistance? Of course, if we look left, this is why we got a massive rejection here. Anyway, you can see just how much traffic was in this zone. I mean, there was just tons of touch points. You can see that this is a very strong area between 127 and 120. Between 120 and 127 dollars. It was just a lot of support here. Support, broke through it, and then resistance, and then we finally shot down. So we may not break through this immediately on the next candle. That's still kind of up for grabs at this point. We're not entirely sure yet, but getting above this area, I think getting up to the 786 on the Fibonacci and especially if we come back down and hold support above this level, this 120 to 125, 127 level. Once we close and hold support above that, I don't see anything stopping us for sure, in terms of a quick run to visit the all-time high. That's what we're looking at for NEO. Okay, in terms of XRP, let's make this big. And I did talk in my XRP videos about a worst case scenario, and I said the worst case scenario, much as I didn't want to say it, but I still said it, the worst case scenario was that even though we went up here close to $2, when we broke through this major area of resistance, which was right around here between 79 and call it 80 and 90 cents, between 80 and 90 cents, this was major resistance, right? And we have been under this level since 2018, April 2018, so basically 3 years, right? We had been under this level for 3 years. And when we finally broke through, we broke through with a vengeance. But of course, what is pretty much necessary when you break through an important level is to come back down and confirm support above that level, which we did. So that again was a very healthy correction to show support and to stay above this level. Like I had said, the worst is over, because underneath here was really the worst, right? This area. This is where the most mayhem happened. But once we got through this, the worst is over. And so another massive bounce, almost 100%, from pretty much 88 cents back up to $1.65. So almost 100% bounce from that bleed, so to speak. And now here we are. So we're looking to settle above this area. I say it would be very nice from a momentum perspective for us to settle above this $1.36 to $1.45 level. If we can settle above that, that would be good. Even if we do have some consolidation here, kind of sideways movement around this area, but inside these two Fibonacci levels, still very healthy in terms of making the move up. When I look at some of our other stuff going on, I'm not crazy about this cross on the stochastic. That's a weekly cross down, which could signify, another move back down. I'm not very concerned about us going past $1. I'm not very concerned about that at all. So we could have a little bit more consolidation between this $1.66, and I would really expect it to be within this range, $1.66 and $1.30, somewhere in that area. Dipping back down here is not outside of the realm of possibility, but like I said, the worst is over for XRP in terms of resistance, right? So, I think May should be a pretty decent month for XRP. I think May should be a good month for XRP, to be honest. But temporarily, maybe for a week or two, we'll see how this cross down on the stochastic is going to really affect the price over the next week or two. But overall, I think for May, it's looking pretty decent. As we see here again, we had this very high wick, this long wick, showing that selling pressure up here in this $2 range that pushed us down, pretty far down. But the buying pressure down here, as we could see, also was very strong. So again, guys, the worst is over. So that's what we're looking for XRP. All right, that's what we're looking for. Bitcoin Cash. I did a video about this being one of the last times that you'd have an opportunity to buy Bitcoin Cash between $700 and $800. We took off from here, which was, I was doing this video somewhere around 750 or so. We went up to $1,200. We expected there to be resistance between this area, between, call it 11 and 1200. Because if we look left, again, we can see very significant around this area. I mean, it's Wow, I mean, it's very clear, right? If we draw a horizontal line right here, just look at all of this support, look at all this support, support, and then this resistance. And we've been under this point right here, this price line of 11.75. We've been under that since May 2018. So again, we've been under this point for 3 years. We've come back up to finally test this area after 3 years. So that explained the rejection as well. I mean, it's not a coincidence that this all coincides with, these Bitcoin corrections and stuff. But just looking at the Fibonacci, guys, it would explain why you can expect these dips and these corrections. So of course, us breaking above this point right here, $767, which was significant. If we look left again, right, we can see this level was very important, and we were under this from July 2018. So over 2.5 years we were under this point. So when we broke above this major resistance, and once we break above a major area of resistance, we need to come back down and confirm support. That's exactly what we did. Peeked through a little bit here, but the body candle closed in the right level. That's where we see the strong bounce up here. So again, the worst in terms of this stuff, that stuff is over, right? We're on our way up. So we can look for, once again, fighting a little bit around this level, around this $1,100 to $1,200 level. Once we can get above that close support, then we should be going up to see $1,400 and $1,800 fairly quickly. Of course, again, expect some resistance around this zone, because if we look left, here we go again, right? So we see around this $700 and $1,700 level, $1,400 level, $1,700 level, 21. Expect to get a good rejection from this point, right? This is, and I'm letting you all know part of my plan. I do plan on selling at least half around here, right around this $2,600 level. I do plan on selling maybe half around here, and I know we're going to get a correction here, right? So we may go, I mean, who knows, we might even go up to $2,900 on this. But again, this will require a healthy correction. We should probably come back down to somewhere around here, around the $1,600 to $1,700 level as a correction from this. That's what I'm expecting. So I would be selling, and I would be buying back down in these areas. Once we confirm support, I'll be buying back, right? But of course not selling all of my holdings, because ultimately this is the target, $4,100, right? So I'm looking for this to come to fruition in about the next 8 weeks or so. So within the next 2 to 3 months is what I expect in terms of our return back to the all-time high. Within 2 to 3 months, this is what I'm looking for. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. So I'm showing you all the game plan, what I'm expecting for Bitcoin Cash. Now the other thing is, an alert is Ontology, right? Ontology has been popping up in my trading strategy. I have a hybrid combination of indicators that I personally use. And when I looked at Ontology, I said, yep, this looks very good. I actually have been looking at Ontology from the time it was 55 cents. But in terms of taking a more serious position, I just did that. I literally just did that around $1.77 or so. Because again, we broke through this major area that we had been under for, what's this, June 2019. Okay, so almost 2 years, right? Well, actually, we've got to go back here because we never closed above this area. We never closed above this area since over here, right? So November 2018, so over 2.5 years we've been under this level, and we finally broke above it. That's why we had a nice breakout, going from $1.65 up to $2.60. And again, same thing, look left, a lot of resistance over here, so we were bound to have resistance again. We're not going to break through this on the first try. It just doesn't happen. And we got pushed back down to this area, and we confirmed support, right, on this weekly candle and this weekly candle. So once again, guys, Ontology is in some serious momentum now for a move up. And as we can see, Ontology was at an all-time high of over $11. Here we are at $1.70. And so I took a position here on Ontology. And we're looking for this move up, obviously. Okay, so I'm looking for this same thing. I think within the next 2 to 3 months, I'm looking for Ontology to make its way back up at least to the 786. All right, at least to the 786 level. So here we go. Ontology, I think, is looking really good, looking really strong. I like the vitals. I look at the rest of it. I still think we're pretty healthy here in terms of the RSI on the weekly. Okay. We have a tiny bit of divergence. We have a lower high here, but we have higher highs on the price. However, that's something we pay attention to. Okay. Because we also have higher lows, so that's very important, right? You see a higher low, higher low, higher low, and again another higher low. So that shows some strength. We're kind of in the middle here on the RSI, but again, that's plenty of room for growth. MACD is looking healthy. We're above the midline here, so in terms of the vitals, I think they look pretty good as well. So I just wanted to bring this update to you guys, just to look at, again, an update on some of these coins that we have been doing. And I hope that you enjoyed it, letting you know what I'm doing. Of course, it is up to you. You're responsible for your own trades. But of course, I'm sharing with you what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So I'm hoping that you gain some education from it. If you like the content, please give it a like. Please subscribe to the video and share it with somebody else that you think also could benefit from this information, okay? And of course, you can always take my, check out my courses on iCoinTraders.com, and more to come. All right, guys, take care. All the best.